High above our world, a magnificent creation drifts among the clouds, a giant mechanical island known as the Clockwork Cloud. For centuries, this marvel of engineering has been the silent puppeteer of our world, dictating the flow of time and commanding the weather across the lands below. Its existence is a legacy, passed down through generations of dedicated clockwork guardians. These guardians are masters of their craft, their lives devoted to maintaining the intricate dance of gears, springs, and cogs that keep the cloud functioning perfectly. Every tick of the grand clock, every shift in the weather patterns, is a testament to their unwavering precision. Among these diligent guardians lives a young apprentice named Arrow, but Arrow is different. Where others see perfection in routine, Arrow sees monotony. He is clumsy, his hands often fumbling with the delicate instruments that others handle with such grace. More than that, he is insatiably curious. His mind buzzes with questions that the other guardians dismiss, questions about the world below, about the cloud's origins, and about the very nature of time itself. Why must everything be so rigid? He would wonder. What happens if a single gear stops turning? His questions are often met with stern looks and reminders to focus on his duties. The Guardians believe that order and predictability are the keys to stability, and Arrow's inquisitive nature is seen as a disruption. One fateful day, while exploring a forgotten, dusty sector of the cloud, Arrow's curiosity leads him to a shocking discovery. Hidden behind a wall of silent, unmoving gears, he finds a chamber containing the heart of the cloud, the core chronometer, and it's failing. He sees hairline fractures spreading across the master crystal, and he notices a faint, almost imperceptible stutter in its rhythmic pulse. This isn't just a minor malfunction. This is a sign of catastrophic decay. The Clockwork Cloud, the symbol of eternal perfection, is slowly breaking down. As Arrow watches in horror, he begins to connect the dots. The strange temporal anomalies he noticed recently, a flower blooming and wilting in the span of a minute, a rain cloud frozen mid-air, were not just quirks. They were symptoms of a much deeper illness. The cloud's decay is causing time itself to unravel. Pockets of the world below are beginning to freeze, trapped in a single moment, while others are accelerating into chaos. The delicate balance maintained for centuries is on the brink of collapse. Panic sets in, but Arrow knows he can't tell the elders. They are too invested in the idea of perfection to accept that their creation is flawed. They would see it as a failure, a disgrace. Arrow realizes that if he's going to save his home and the world below, he will have to do it alone. Just as despair begins to take hold, a faint ticking sound catches his attention. Tucked away in a pile of discarded parts is a small, broken clockbird. One of its wings is a bent gear, and its ticking is erratic, but its eyes, to tiny sapphire lenses, glow with an intelligent light. Arrow gently picks it up. As he tinkers with its mechanism, the little bird chirps and nudges his hand, as if trying to communicate. Arrow decides to call him Tick. This small, imperfect creature becomes his first and only ally. He feels a strange kinship with the broken bird. Both of them are flawed in a world that demands perfection. Their quiet partnership is soon interrupted by an unexpected arrival. A sleek skyship, unlike any vessel from the cloud, docks at an abandoned platform. A young woman with wine-tousled hair and clothes made for adventure leaps out. She introduces herself as Myler, a sky sailor from the surface world. Her people, known as the Ground Walkers, have long observed the cloud with a mix of awe and fear. Myla has come seeking answers. Her village is trapped in an eternal winter, and she has traced the source of the temporal disturbance back to the Sky Island. She is brave, resourceful, and possesses a knowledge of the natural world that is completely alien to Arrow. At first, Arrow is hesitant to trust an outsider. But as Myla describes the chaos unfolding below, rivers freezing solid in the summer, crops aging to dust in an instant, he knows he needs her help. Myla, in turn, sees in Arrow a courage he doesn't yet see in himself. She isn't intimidated by the cloud's mechanical grandeur. She sees it for what it is, a machine that is breaking. Together, the clumsy apprentice, the broken clockbird, and the daring Sky Sailor form an unlikely trio. Their mission: to journey into the heart of the Clockwork Cloud and find a way to fix it before time runs out for everyone. Their adventure takes them deep into the mechanical labyrinth. They navigate treacherous pathways of spinning gears the size of mountains and traverse bridges made of shimmering, solidified light. They must dodge swinging pendulums that could crush them in an instant and solve complex mechanical puzzles left behind by the Cloud's ancient builders. Tick proves to be an invaluable guide. His erratic ticking seems to resonate with the Cloud's faltering rhythm, allowing him to sense temporal traps and hidden passages that are invisible to the naked eye. He leads them through corridors where moments are frozen in time, a guardian captured mid-step, a drop of oil hanging suspended in the air forever. As they venture deeper, they discover that the Cloud is more than just a machine. It's a repository of memories. Within certain chambers, the past plays out like ghostly projections. Arrow witnesses the Cloud's creation not by infallible gods, but by inventors who dreamed, argued, and made mistakes. He sees them debating the very nature of perfection. The first Master Guardian, it turns out, never intended for the Cloud to be rigid and unchanging. He envisioned it as a dynamic system, one that would adapt and evolve. But over the centuries, his successors became obsessed with control, enforcing a strict order that slowly suffocated the Cloud's original, vibrant spirit. The fractures Arrow discovered weren't a sign of decay, they were a sign of strain. The Cloud was fighting against its own rigid programming. This revelation changes everything for Arrow. He finally understands that the Guardian's obsession with perfection wasn't protecting the Cloud. It was destroying it. Perfection isn't about being flawless. It's about the ability to adapt, to change, to grow. It's about the harmony between order and chaos, between the predictable tick of a clock and the unpredictable beat of a heart. His own clumsiness and curiosity, the very traits that made him an outcast, are what allow him to see this truth. Guided by this new understanding, they finally reach the core chronometer. The master clock has almost stopped completely. Its rhythmic pulse has faded to a faint, struggling flutter. Below, the world is in turmoil. Hurricanes rage over deserts, and blizzards blanket tropical islands. The final tick is approaching. Mila uses her knowledge of natural cycles to identify a way to reharmonize the Cloud's energy, while Arrow, using his intuition and newfound confidence, begins to rearrange the core mechanisms. He doesn't try to force them back into their old, rigid positions. Instead, he introduces a new element, a small, imperfect gear he salvaged from Tick. He realizes the Cloud doesn't need to be perfect, it needs to be balanced. He reconfigures the core not to restore its old, rigid order, but to create a new system, one that allows for slight variations, for change, for life. It's a delicate dance between machine precision and the organic, unpredictable rhythm of the heart. As he places the final piece, the core chronometer sputters, shudders, and then it begins to beat again. Not with the cold, metronomic tick of before, but with a warm, vibrant, living pulse. A wave of energy radiates from the core, spreading throughout the Cloud and down to the world below. The unnatural storms dissipate, the frozen moments thaw. Time begins to flow correctly again, not as a controlled, monotonous line, but as a dynamic, flowing river. The seasons on the surface world snap back into their natural cycle. Mila looks at Arrow, her eyes filled with awe. He didn't just fix a machine, he gave it a soul. Arrow, Mila, and Tick return to the upper levels of the Cloud to find the other Guardians staring in stunned silence. The Cloud feels different, it feels alive. Arrow, no longer the clumsy apprentice, but a confident leader, explains what he has learned. He tells them that change is not the enemy, and that true harmony lies in embracing imperfection. The Guardians, humbled and inspired, finally understand. The Clockwork Cloud continues its silent journey across the sky, but it is transformed. It is no longer a cold machine of absolute control, but a living symbol of balance and harmony. Arrow becomes its new guardian, but his role is not to maintain perfection, it is to guide its evolution. He, along with Mila who chooses to stay, and the faithful tech ensure that the cloud continues to work in partnership with the world below. And so, the Sky Island and the world it governs are saved, not by flawless machinery, but by the courage of a curious heart who dared to believe that imperfection was the key to a more beautiful truth. Thank you so much for watching this story unfold. If you enjoyed this journey to the Clockwork Cloud, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more adventures. Let us know in the comments what you thought of Arrow's story. We'll see you in the next one.